Hey skiers, it's Bob with skiessentials.com.
And I'm Matt. How's it going?
Matt and I are here to do Top 5 Fridays as Jeff is on his way out to Colorado for USASA Nationals, I think.
Yep.
So the kids he coaches on weekends and whatnot qualify for the big nationals competition in Copper Mountain, Colorado. So that's where he will be for the foreseeable future. Looks like nice wintry weather out there as we enjoyed a little bit more spring-like skiing this morning.
Yep. He's going to be out there telling kids to do better
Yeah,
for a week straight.
bigger jumps.
Bigger jumps.
But yeah, we've got Top 5 Fridays for this week. A couple of housekeeping tips to go over first. Number one is that price drops continue to kind of pop up across our site as we are allowed to lower prices based on manufacturers' recommendations and policies. These price drops are evidenced by our bargain basement video that Jeff and I did earlier this week. So we got to pick a few skis that we thought were particularly good deals, especially focusing on 2025 models under $500 for the skis. So check that out if you're looking for a modern, recent ski. I mean, it's funny to think about like the year that we're in is modern.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, price drops continue on a lot of those brands that we highlighted in that video. And then another content piece we just put out yesterday, 2026 Atomic Maverick 96 CTI, so future skis
Future
for
skis.
next year. And that was pretty fun. New Atomic Maverick 88 and 96 and 86, I guess, all kind of following in the footsteps of this year, 2025 Maverick 105 and 115 CTI. So check that out. Great mid-90s, just pure all-mountain versatility.
Yeah, it was one of those skis where we had it in every single condition imaginable.
Yep.
So it covered all the bases. So pretty much everything that you're looking for to get a better assessment of that ski on, we have it covered.
We got it.
Yep.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for housekeeping stuff. News is not as competition-based as it's been in the past. Just kind of seemed to be catching up on ski industry news as opposed to ski competition news, which is fine for this time of year.
A lot of drama.
I know. Scandals and
Scandalous.
whatnot. Yeah. But yeah, first topic of the week, we're covering a story that has been, 10 years in the making now, Matt. Burke Mountain here in Vermont was really kind of embroiled in this EB5 scandal that about a decade ago where the owners of Burke and Jay were selling, what were they selling? They were selling citizenship to people that were investors and then basically just keeping all the money.
Yeah.
So they got in trouble for that, and that left Jay and Burke in the lurch. Jay has since sold, and Burke has been kind of under the judgeship control. I forget the word for it.
I can't
A
remember
receivership.
either. Receivership, that's
Yeah,
right.
so guy works for the bank and owns the mountain. So he's been looking for an owner that's going to both satisfy repaying the debt as well as be a positive person in the future, or group in this case. So hopefully third time's a charm here, Matt. This it's been on the block a couple times. Now it is expected to be sold to Bear Den Partners LLC. So the Graham family, which has been previous investors in Burke Mountain Academy and Burke, are part of this group. And then a gentleman named John Schaefer, who also owns and operates Berkshire East in Massachusetts, are part of this group that seem to be the front runners for this sale.
Seems like a great match. Like a family that knows the ins and outs of the resort,
Yeah.
has been a part of the academy for a while, and then someone from Berkshire East who, I mean, we hear about Berkshire all the time from people that are trying to buy skis. So it just seems like it's two very welcoming and well-intended people.
Yeah,
groups of people.
I think that one of the requirements here is that you have to be willing to invest in the mountain, and since it's basically been 10 years since any type of capital investments have been made, that kind of takes a little catching up. So I think people need to have some pockets to open the wallet and spend a couple bucks on the place to get it up to speed. So hopefully they do that.
Yeah.
The Grahams seem to be more of the money side and Schaefer the operations side. So again, like you were saying, nice mix of finance and experience.
Right. And I mean, that Burke is a great place to be bringing in money year round. They have the bike park. They have Kingdom Trails there too during the summer.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it's kind of a legendary resort for the
Right.
wintertime.
Yeah.
So it has a lot of potential. And I think with just a little bit more of an injection of money, it can be something really, really special. More so than it already is.
Yeah, and I think overall that the locals and the Burke fans will be more than happy to kind of close the door on this book and
Yeah.
move on to better things.
New chapter for sure.
So good luck to Burke Mountain in that regard. Number 2 here. This is a interesting story. Matt, this kind of is up your alley, and the other Matt who writes these articles, he's all fired up about it. Both you and him are, what do you call it, Central and Western New York?
Yep. He's Central and Western.
All right, so
Yeah.
Central, you call Syracuse Central and Buffalo Western?
Yep.
All right. So Matt, who writes the articles, is from the Syracuse area. This Matt is from the Buffalo area. And this gentleman, Peter Harris, owns a handful of ski areas in the Syracuse area. So he owned Song Mountain, which is where Matt, the writer, started skiing, and then bought a couple more that are in that Syracuse area. So Labrador and then Toggenburg. So 3 of, I would say, the 3
I would say,
areas.
like around Syracuse, yeah.
Around Syracuse. So this gentleman had 2, bought the 3rd, and then closed Toggenburg in 2021. This caused the local lawmakers to sue him and file an antitrust suit in 2022, basically by consolidating too much of one commodity in a centralized location, kind of violating a monopoly act.
Right.
Matt, the writer, seemed to have more of a personal bone to pick with this gentleman for not building a terrain park at Song Mountain when he was growing up, or other places.
Well, I thought that maybe did they build it at Toggenburg? Is that what he said in the
I think
article?
he went to
went to
Toggenburg, and they had a park, and he really liked that place.
And then he bought it, and then he took away the park.
He closed the whole place.
Yeah.
So
Double whammy.
yeah, so Matt, the writer, is I think he's happy to see this gentleman, Peter Harris, get his comeuppance here.
Yeah. Do you think Matt had part of his downfall? Do you think he was just feeding the government information and was just like, I'm going to get this
Like
guy.
a whistleblower?
Yeah, he's
I
going
don't know.
to get this guy at some point.
Now you're really moving the conspiracy needle. No, but he clearly, in the eyes of the law, was guilty, found guilty this week of antitrust. And they haven't quite come up with a punishment as of yet. There's more hearings and upcoming to determine any financial penalties that he may incur. But
He has to go make a bunch of terrain parks.
that's the penalty.
That's my
like a
bid.
community service type
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
At any rate, it seems like, and Matt was very, very personal in this article. So
Passionate?
Yeah, he's very passionate. You know, it's an article from Syracuse Business, but Matt's portion in the Top 5 Fridays article is very good. I would read that for sure. But yeah, hopefully order is restored to the wonderful skiing area of Central New York.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to any of these 3 places?
I've never even heard of him before.
You were
today.
Holiday,
Holiday Valley, Hollymont, Swain.
Bristol? Is Bristol there?
Bristol's a little bit more east from what I can remember. Never really skied there. Buffalo Ski Center, Tamarack. That was about it, really.
You always think like with the amount of snow that area gets, that it's too bad there's not bigger hills.
That's the problem. But
Yeah.
the other problem is like we'll get feet of snow.
Yeah.
3 days later, it'll be 60 degrees and sunny.
I remember
It'll
you
just,
saying
like,
that, yeah.
all melt. So, like
But-
if you're a powder hound, like you'll get a couple a year, and then you gotta get it while it's good, which kind of works out well for how it is here.
Right.
Like, if it's really good, you got to go get it.
Yeah.
Because then it might change. But
But like lake effect snows are not indicative of like a seasonal pattern.
correct.
kind of like we have here, like it's cold for 2 months and snows a bunch.
Yep.
But there, it just dumps and then goes away.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully that closes that chapter on Mr. Harris and his ski area ownership business. Number 3 here, I put a lot of corporate buzzwords here because I feel like this topic warrants this. So Eric Mogensen, who we've talked about before on this show here, owns Black Mountain in New Hampshire. He also owns a company called Entabeni Systems, which also owns IndyPass. So Black Mountain, IndyPass, and Entabeni Systems, which is a software and tech solutions company basically for ski resort businesses. So anytime your pass is scanned, that data goes somewhere. So this company works on accumulating, acquiring, and then kind of dispersing that data in order for ski areas basically to be more profitable and more efficient.
Yep.
So this guy's kind of got his big toe stuck in a bunch of different things. And the benefit here is that he's going to be able to use his software system in order to create kind of a more seamless transition as Black Mountain is going to move out of from under his control and into more of a cooperatively owned business. So he'll be able to kind of experiment and have more free will and free capacity with his software system in order to boost the incoming group using onboarding to increase efficiency.
Right. Like this is something that I bet the new Burke will really strive for, I would
Right.
imagine, because they still do like the paper tickets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, at least from the last time I was there, it was still paper tickets. But now with like a little bit of an injection of money, they can operate with this sort of system, and this is kind of what his company's designed for.
Yeah.
So it could be pretty cool.
Yeah, so using technology to increase efficiency, to really drill down and synergize actionable items,
Yeah.
I think will be a big part of this business here, requiring a lot of blue sky thinking and picking off the low-hanging fruit as a result.
Yep.
So that's what we got going on here. I had no idea that IndyPass was owned by a software company.
No idea.
You learn something new on Top 5 Fridays all the time.
Every time.
So good luck to Black Mountain in New Hampshire. I feel like they have some fun things going on.
Yeah. It's a cool little research lab.
Yeah. Number 4 here, Matt couldn't resist putting in Freeride World Tour or free skiing components in Top 5 Fridays. A little 3-pack of topics on the sport of free skiing. I had a hard time determining what to call it because like Freeride World Tour is a thing, but what's the actual skiing called? Like, is it big mountain? Is it free ride? Is it free ski? Is it extreme skiing?
All of the above. It's whatever you want to make it.
Like,
Bob.
what are they going
That's
to
free skiing?
So the whole point here is that, like, A of this 3-pack is that the Freeride World Tour is slated to become an Olympic sport, and they're going to have a vote on it this summer or this September to see if it's going to be included in the 2030 games in France. So when in 2030, let's fast forward, and they have Big Mountain. What is the event called? Like, we have moguls, we have downhill, we have slalom, we have giant slalom, we have half pipe, big air.
I think they're probably going to call it free ride, because then if they were to call it free ski, then maybe Big Mountain Free Ride. That would probably be it, because it covers both skiing and snowboarding, and like is specific enough to say like this is in the mountains and not in a terrain park where it's freestyle. It's just completely different. Big Mountain Free Ride.
And I think that's going to be one of the interesting parts about this discussion is venues and courses, and not every Olympic venue is going to have an appropriate venue for this event.
Right.
So sure, if you're in France, you kind of have a nice selection, but where was it in Korea? Like they had to build the whole alpine mountain basically, cut the trails, made it, like did all the stuff. You know, if it goes to a place like that, I'm not sure what they'll do.
Like, what if it's in Park City again?
I've heard them talking about like Snowbird being having because they do junior competitions, like pretty high end stuff there, or maybe they're just going to go off and find a natural area. I don't know.
Whiteface.
Right.
If we came back to Whiteface, what are you doing then?
Right. Yeah. If it goes to Lake Placid, you're going to have to ski the slides, and I don't know.
That could be
Maybe
cool.
that'll work. But this would help, especially with the athletes who are kind of needing a little bit more assistance. So if you are slated to be in the Olympics, then you're going to get more sponsorship opportunities, and then you'll be a part of a national team that's going to be able to draw from, Team USA and offer funding for travel and training and stuff like that. So this should, if it goes through, be a big boost to the athletes from a financial and just general assistance perspective.
100%.
So it'd be pretty cool, and maybe it'll come through as a what do they call it? Exhibition event, or something like that first. I know they've done that in the past. Section B, topic 4, it is alternative competition season, Matt. Now that the Freeride World Tour is kind of wrapped up, the one that Matt's pointing out to is the Silver Belt Classic at Sugar Bowl, California. Have you seen this?
I have not.
It's wild.
Is it like Red Bull Cascade?
It's Off-Piste GS. So
The original one?
I don't know. This one's been going around for a while.
Oh.
And yeah, basically they set up like alpine snowboard gates on whatever they want, and you have to
That's pretty
go
sweet.
through the thing.
Do you have to do tricks, or is it a time thing?
I don't think you have to do tricks. I just remember seeing, a point of view from it and thinking that it was pretty rowdy.
Okay.
So check that out. And then C is Swatch Nines, the week-long event. Very creative, one-of-a-kind park and freestyle setups. This week-long event where basically it's, ski or rider, I should say, athlete judged event. Mm-hmm. No criteria other than who did the best.
Right. I feel like every year there's always a world's first done at a Swatch Nines, whether it's bike, the ski one. Yeah. There's always something absolutely insane to come out of it.
And incredibly creative with the designs of these terrain features, I guess, would be because it's not just jumps.
No.
All sorts of stuff.
Rails.
Yeah.
Just everything.
Bowls, like giant snowballs. I mean, there's just gaps, transfers, just the whole myriad of terrain is just wild. So if you haven't seen this event before, certainly check it out. Very interesting stuff. Edits of the week here, Matt. We have number 1, Vermont skiing at its finest. Nice film by Brooks Curran here. A lot of stuff in the Stowe Smuggler's Notch area. And this was a good winter for it because we had good, consistent snowpack throughout. So you could really kind of check off things that haven't been available a whole lot of years recently. So also Brooks never wanted to shy away from a sketchy line.
Yeah, always. And I meant to say that. People don't understand how crazy some of these lines are that he's doing and how fast he's doing them. Like, they're so technical and so precise. And then you got to remember, this is also Brooks Curran that we're talking about, who is just, when you see him in person skiing, it's just like, what am I doing? Like, that's just so much better.
Yeah, and like as good as he is in like carving a turn on a groomer, adventure skiing is really where his heart seems to be.
Totally.
So, pretty cool stuff. Nice to see in our backyard too. Number 2, we get a sneak peek of the Natural Selections ski in 2025 Strike Day 2 in Alaska. So nice little kind of sneak peek at the Natural Selection course venue here up in Alaska, and just wild stuff. I just remember thinking back in the day when people started skiing big mountain stuff, like how long is it going to be before they really incorporate terrain park stuff into that?
Right.
We're beyond that. I mean, the stuff these guys do is just nuts.
Crazy.
So, pretty cool.
I'm a big fan of Craig Murray, whose vlog this is.
Yeah.
And I've been keeping up with him this whole winter. So I've been like patiently waiting for the next vlog after this one to come out. But I think that won't come out until they actually air the competition on the 17th. So should be pretty sweet.
Number 3, this one's a little bit more up Jeff's alley. Phase 003 Slush Cup week in Andorra, film from Nico Porteous, and it is a lot of rails.
A lot of rails.
A lot of rails. And then number 4 here, we have from Sickos, film about the world's longest skis. And, you know, kind of on the heels of this week where it was April Fool's on Tuesday? Mm-hmm. And there's all sorts of silly fake videos come out.
Right.
Like, they actually skied on these skis.
Yeah.
Like April Fool's kinda. You know, basically cut the tip and tail off of a ski and bolted them together and mounted a binding on it.
So
I didn't get a full length, but it looked like about a 300 or something like that.
Yeah, and then they put 2 more sets of bindings on it so 3 people could ski it.
Yeah. So on one hand, yeah, it was kind of foolish, but on the other hand, they like legit took them up the chairlift and skied on the mountain and went off jumps. So pretty funny stuff there from the skiers over at Sickos. That is edits of the week. Next week might look a little bit different with Jeff out in Colorado, but I think he'll either share some stuff, put up another ski test behind the scenes video or something like that. And I'm sure that we'll be back again for Top 5 Fridays next week probably. If Jeff's back, he'll be here. If not, we'll see you.
Perfect.
But yeah, everyone have a wonderful weekend out there. Spring skiing is here. You got to get it while you can. Good thing we have a bunch of coverage here because it looks a little wet
Yep,
this weekend.
Wet.
So,
yeah.
But you take what you get in April. So hope everyone has a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.